theory circle. He's the guy who's always making these weird. They're turning the frogs gay. You know, he talks like that, and he talks about like the globalist and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
So he's like a conspiracy theorist.
He's a conspiracy theorist who became. He had his own radio show back in the '90s, but he became a lot bigger in the mid 2000s. Obviously, criticizing George Bush, and then he went from being big to being infamous after he made some comments over a national event that occurred in Newton, Connecticut. But the point is that a while back, a long time ago, he was shouting a conspiracy theory that the water is turning the frogs gay. Now, I didn't hear that whole video, so I don't know if that was taken out of context or whatever, but that's what they put out there when they talk about Alex Jones and his crazy conspiracy theories. You heard about that?
Yeah, I heard about it. I forgot what kind of chemicals being put into the water, right?
Before we get into that, though, when he said they're turning the frogs gay in the water, paraphrasing there, allegedly also, people were just writing him off as some crazy nut job conspiracy theories. But it turns out that it's not that they're purposely turning the frogs gay. Is that the chemicals that they're using, and dumping in the water where the frogs swim is actually doing something to the male frogs, where it's actually changing their
sex.
Yeah, their sex in a way that's like they're able to like give birth or some crazy. It turned out it was proven like very recently, like scientifically speaking, it was proven.
Yeah.
And so it's funny because Alex Jones, man, he's made some wild conspiracy theories that turned out to be true.
Like the Epstein Island.
Yeah, dude, he was talking about how there's
crazy. An island where like affluent people go and then they get blackmailed because they have certain relationships with underage children. And
he was actually talking about how there's egregious child exploitations within the highest levels of politics. I don't want to say just Washington because it's like a global thing. And people were like, yeah, this guy's kind of crazy. This guy's a little bit nuts, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. What happens? Somebody blows the lid off of Epstein. And to be honest, man, with the amount of secrecy surrounding the whole Epstein trial, I don't even know how he got that far where he got arrested.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Because Ghislaine Maxwell, who was the one also trafficking these women, allegedly, even though she got arrested for it, she got arrested, but there was no who were the people who trafficked them to type of stuff.
Yeah.
There was no she got arrested, but that was it. There was no names, nobody named.
I heard over the weekend that there was the release of the emails, right? But supposedly they were deleted. Something happened.
Dude, I don't know. I'm surprised.
I was too distracted with the submarine.
The submarine. I want to get back to that really quickly because something about a part of that story is kind of messed up when you kind of look back at it. But the one thing with Alex Jones, he said some wild conspiracy theories. Another wild conspiracy theory that he said that might be true. I don't know how many of you guys know the phrase psychonauts. So it's like an astronaut, but this person is a person who actually travels like the realm of the hallucinogenic realm. So,
no, I haven't heard it.
So for those of you who don't know, and we don't endorse this, by the way, we're just giving you the information. A psychonaut is somebody who takes hallucinogenic drugs like LSD and DMT. All of it illegal. You shouldn't do it. These things are illegal. Don't do it. You're gonna break the law if you do it, and we do not endorse that. But when they do take these illicit substances, what ends up happening is that they end up going to another realm, right? They start hallucinating and going to another realm. And the issue with that is that at first, people can say it's just a hallucination, but it seems like a lot of people have been having similar experiences. You know what I mean? Where they're like, hey, did you do that? And they're like, yeah, I did. Did you see the talking elves? Did you see the machine elves? And many people were having the same exact hallucinations. At least I know with DMT, that's the what they describe. And the CIA allegedly has a program. I don't know if it's the CIA, but a government agency has a program actually where they supposedly take people and they, according to Alex Jones, right? Nothing's been proven yet, but they take these people and they stop their hearts, right? And they drip feed them this type of illicit substances, and they go into the DMT realm and they supposedly map the realm out.
No way.
Yeah. So I don't know how far.
Where does Alex Jones get this information from?
So that's the thing, right?
Does he have like professionals or something?
So he supposedly does, and at first people were like, "Oh, this guy's the ramblings of a madman." Oh, and by the way, Alex Jones was talking about transhumanism since 2008, by the way.
Wow.
So transhumanism, for those of you who don't know, is people merging with machines. We'll get to that later. But so that's the thing, right? At first, people were like, "Oh, this guy Alex Jones is a nut job," but he's entertaining, so I like to listen to him. But when some of his stuff started coming out that might have been real, people were like, "Yo, this guy might be a CIA guy. Like, he might be a CIA disinformation agent, actually, because the information that he has, either he has good connections or he himself is plugged in and he's told what to say, kind of like David Grush.
Yeah.
David Grush, the guy who came out with the UFO stuff. Alex Jones actually predicted that there was going to be an invasion of Ukraine when it happened, like a couple of months before it happened.
Wow.
He also predicted that there was going to be an attack on 9/11. Not on 9/11 specifically, but he said there was going to be an attack in July that, Al Qaeda was going to attack the United States or something like that.
Yeah, he might be informed because I mean those things were, I mean, the government already knew about those things as well. Like they knew that they were gonna attack the USA, just didn't know when.
The thing is, Alex Jones is a radio talk show host, right, quote unquote, at that time.
What's his background?
He's a radio talk show host.
That's it. Like
yeah. He's just doing radio.
What?
Yeah, is he actually famous for sneaking into Bohemian Grove?
Really?
He's the guy with the Bohemian Grove pictures. They had like these owls and stuff like that. And so Alex Jones, man. At first, it started to seem like he was just saying some stuff. Then some of the stuff started coming out that turned out to be true. And now it goes from he's just saying some stuff to like, oh, wow, the guy has some good info to, this guy might be just a CIA guy because he'll say that and then out of nowhere he'll say some other wild stuff. So we don't know if he's saying that and then he's saying wild stuff so people can think he's crazy or whatnot. But yeah, he's had a lot of predictions about that. One of them was being the fact that they turned the frogs gay. So... a lot of other predictions that he had is that they're mapping the DMT realm, that they've made actually contact with beings from the DMT realm, allegedly, and that they actually have like communications with them. They actually have exchange programs and stuff like that. Like not between people, but they have communication and they're sharing stuff. And then he said, he said that that's one of the many things that they've done, which eventually might turn out to be true. Who knows?
Do you think this is just being done by the U.S. government or other governments as well?
I think it's advanced the furthest in the U.S. government. I don't think it's only being done by the U.S. It might have been done by Russia. I don't know how much Russia is doing of anything these days. You know what I mean?
And it's kind of crazy because, like, when it comes to those DMT things, a lot of the, there's like ayahuasca and I think like some other thing that comes like from the frog or something. And
the toad.
Yeah, and there's like shamans out there that they practice this, like these rituals, and they guide you through this realm that you're talking about. So it's kind of weird that they have a government program running these things, but at the same time they have like shamans are kind of doing the same thing.
Right. But I think the government program kind of like
you think it's more science based versus spiritual?
Yeah, they streamlined it now. We're to the point where it's like, all right, we're gonna stop your heart. We're gonna pump you with this. We're gonna keep pumping oxygen through your body. So you don't.
Yeah, and that's unethical as hell, dude.
They're doing some, bro. Like the government, whenever the government gets called, like, oh my bad, we understand the error of ways. They don't stop. They just go more underground.
Yeah,
like the Montauk Project. Yeah, like the whole Montauk Project.
Yeah.
And then the whole MK Ultra project where they were experimenting with LSD and trying to get mind control, see if it works. A lot of these people a lot of these people were what's the word I'm looking for? Subjects of the MK Ultra project. Whitey Bulger from, he used to be they made a movie out of him with the Pirates of the Caribbean guy. What's his name?
Johnny Depp.
Johnny Depp, yeah. Where he was playing Whitey Bulger, I think. He was part of the MK Ultra project.
Wow.
And Whitey Bulger used to be like in the mob or something like that back in the day. So yeah, no, they're doing some stuff, bro. They're doing some wild stuff. Alex Jones calls them out. Well, I don't know, calls them out, but he always says it, and people don't believe him. But he's the only one who's been kind of spot on a lot of the times, dude. Yeah.
Yeah. So tell me more about the frog thing, and what's in the water and.
Oh, so they're saying that they're turning the frogs gay, right? That was the funny thing is like, it's not really that they're turning the frogs gay, that they're changing the not purposely either, that the chemicals in the water are doing something to the genetic makeup of the frogs that ends up changing their sex to the point where they're able to male frogs are now slowly turning into females to the point where they can actually give birth, or some wild stuff like that.
Wow.
And that's just recently um, came came to light, I believe. Another thing that they're saying is that the was the pill, the birth control pill,
Yeah.
is it's the chemicals in that pill are not able to be filtered out through the water system, through the tap water system, and so we drink it, and so that might be contributing to the possible decrease of testosterone in males, and possibly the rise of estrogen, and worse, obviously, with the chemicals of the frogs, and then the whole birth control pill thing, the chemicals in the water, that might possibly be what allegedly the opinions shared in the JCast podcast are our opinions. We're not making any scientific claims. Please fact check us. Say whatever you want. Leave something in the comments. It's fine. Allegedly, that might be what's causing a lot of possible gender dysphoria among teenagers. It might not just be a social contagion that one teenager sees it and he says or she says, "Ooh, this person's getting attention. I want to do that too." It could be that they legit feel this way as a result of being exposed to these chemicals in the water.
Wow, that's freaking insane.
Yeah, and
if
by
that's
the way,
case.
and we're not blaming women's liberation movement. Please leave us alone with that stuff. We're not blaming nobody. We're just pointing out possible causes of this.
Do you think it also messes with the fertility of humans as well?
Could be. It could be. Now, people are saying that the fertility rate has been increasing worldwide, and so a lot of people are like, well, it's socioeconomic stuff. People don't want to have kids. They want to have kids later on in life, and all that stuff is true. But it could be a possibility that is affecting their being able to conceive, right? You can't say you can explain away via socioeconomics the fact that people are not having kids, saying, oh, they want to wait for the right time, et cetera, et cetera. But you're not able to explain through socioeconomics why the testosterone levels of males are dropping. You're not able to explain through socioeconomic stuff why the sperm count of males supposedly is dropping.
Yeah.
You've heard of that, right?
Yeah, and it's been happening like every year, every like decade or something.
For the past 50 years, it's decreased like, I don't remember, I don't have the numbers with me on the top of my head, but I think something is happening. You want to look up the numbers?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, while Jay's doing that, yeah. So basically, the numbers are saying that male sperm cell is dropping, testosterone is dropping, and people are not having babies. Now, the fact of the matter is that people are choosing not to have babies. You can explain that away, but not the testosterone, not the sperm cell stuff. What you got? What you got, Jay?
Give me a sec. I'm trying to get a chart over here, man. So.
Oh, and make sure you say the source, like the website.
This is coming from Economics Today.
Pull it up, Jamie.
So it seems like from 1987 to 1989, from the ages of 45 to 71.
87 to 89?
Yeah, 1987 to 1989, there was a decrease. No, this doesn't make sense. Never mind. Let me look for a better source.
Ladies and gentlemen, while Jay gets his sources situated, are you guys leave something in the comment? We're probably gonna clip this part out. Leave something in the comment. Are you guys afraid about that? Do you guys think that this is all by design, where they're trying to scare us into not having kids, mentally, so people don't have kids, but also physiologically they're affecting us? We always keep hearing about population explosion or population boom or all that stuff. Could it be that there is no population boom? Could it be that they actually are trying to control us and dwindle the population? You got anything, Jay?
Yeah, so it says the average testosterone level of a 60-year-old man in 1987 was 17.5 NMOL. I don't know what the hell that stands for, per liter. And this study was done on 2007. So compared to the men of 2002, it went from 17.5 per liter to 15 per liter. So it seems that based on this average testosterone levels in men are declining 1% every year since 1987.
That is concerning.
And this research was done based on Finnish and Danish population. So I don't know how accurate this
Finnish,
is.
Finnish and Danish population. That's fine.
Yeah.
You want to talk about the submarine you said?
Yeah, the submarine, man. The oh my gosh. So I was watching a whole bunch of videos.
There we go.
Of the
Just coming
submarine.
alive.
Yeah, man. So it was a tragic thing that happened. A lot of people were like, talking about how, there were billionaires that were there, just like in the Titanic and all that
I want to get
stuff.
to that. Yeah.
Yeah, but I want to get to that as well. But I also want to talk about what happened that wasn't like talked about. Like it was kind of like a distraction and stuff.
You think it was a distraction?
Yeah, definitely was a distraction, man. There was a lot of things that were happening in the background. Like you sent me the article of the $6 billion that they
yes
for the Ukraine people. I think they gave them over $6 billion, right?
I think they gave them. I don't know if they were supposed to give them $3 billion and they gave them $6 billion, or if they were supposed to give them $6 billion and give them.
Yeah, it was like an additional $6 billion that they gave them that they didn't have to give them. So
My bad.
For the Ukraine people of
Keep
the
the
war
change.
that's going on. Yeah, pretty much. Also,
And we want to just say this real quickly. When they gave that money to Ukraine, I don't think they gave it to Ukraine. I think they gave it to the military-industrial complex.
Yeah, I agree, man.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that's definitely like what's behind everything now. It's the pharmaceutical company, the military complex. It's all these private sectors now that control the government.
Yep.
Because at the end of the day, we're a capitalist country, so...
No, but this is something else now. This became something other than capital. Because capitalism is... Free market capitalism, the way it's supposed to work is you take your money, right? And then you start selling a product or a service. And that's it. And you compete in the free market with other people who are selling the same product or service. And obviously, you do your best to get them a better product or service for a cheaper price than the competition. That's how free market capitalism is supposed to work. You don't just go to the government, right, and say, hey, we're friends. Can you make it difficult for my competitor to operate? That's not free market capitalism. That's what you call crony capitalism.
Yeah, crony. So based on there was like this unfortunately I'm not gonna give credit to this person because like it was I'm kind of remembering from the top of my head. It was just like an Instagram reel that I watched.
Yeah.
And so in this video they're basically mentioning what was covered over the weekend but wasn't mentioned because everyone was too distracted with the whole submarine trapped under the water with a whole bunch of billionaires.
Yeah.
So one of them is that JP Morgan and Epstein's emails were released. And now they have just mistakenly deleted 47 million emails.
Whoops.
Yeah. Another thing that happened was that Joe Biden is undergoing an impeachment vote, I think, right?
Yeah, by Lauren Boebert, I think.
Yeah.
That's not going to go through.
Yeah, I don't think so either. And did you hear about the whole Hunter thing? The Hunter Biden?
Yeah, I want to get to that one.
Did he get convicted?
Damn, yeah, he did, I think.
But did they convict him for all the charges or no?
I think it doesn't even matter. I'm going to tell you what I think happened there.
Okay,
and then we'll circle back.
And then the other thing was, the $6 billion to Ukraine. Based on what I saw the reel, they said that he just got a slap on the wrist for the Hunter thing.
Yeah, and I think the reason that they did that to Hunter Biden.
Yeah.
Before we continue on the submarine talk, last time scandal with Hunter Biden came out, it was the 2020 election, and they stifled the story. After Biden won the elections, everybody was talking about... Now it became safe to talk about the Hunter Biden laptop, and it wasn't considered Russian disinfo. Now it's okay. Now they're like, well, we can't play that card again, and this guy's still on the news. We have to make an example out of him, because if we don't, he's going to ruin... If Biden's running again, right? He's going to ruin Biden's chances of winning the next election if they want him to win again. And so they make an example out of him by convicting him and saying, see... Nobody's above the law.
Was the FBI involved in that?
In this case?
Yeah, they're saying a lot of FBI whistleblowers were disappearing as well.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So, yeah.
All I can tell you is that they didn't convict him last time and they just stifled it, but the story became too big now to the point where he's still in the media. I don't know why. I don't know why people keep...
Yeah.
I don't know why he keeps putting... I don't know if he's putting himself on the media, but they're doing it now to show people, like, see, we're the department... Like, he got indicted while his father was president. His father didn't step in or do anything at all, supposedly. So it's like to not ruin his chances of re-election. Now they want to make a show out of it, but it's a spectacle where it's like, look, we convicted him, and that's it. We're not trying to hide anything.
It's kind of messed up because like you mentioned, it's like they didn't convict him during the elections.
The 2020 elections. They not only did not convict him, they stifled the story, which turned out to be true with the Hunter Biden laptop story. That everybody bought hook, line, and sinker. Right? That's the phrase, hook, line, sinker.
Yeah.
Hook, line, and sinker. And freaking, everybody was immediately like, oh, this is a Russian disinformation thing, and then Twitter was stifling the story from the New York, I think the New York Post, if I'm not mistaken, and then it turned out it was true after the elections were done.
Yeah. And meanwhile, they're investigating Trump. Did they
Yeah.
find anything about supposedly he was involved with Russians or something like that?
Yeah, I
That
mean,
led to nothing, right?
whatever your things are, or your thoughts are on Trump. Like I said, man, you don't become a billionaire by playing fair and by following all the rules. You know what I mean? And I'm not justifying it either. I'm just saying, like, if you search any billionaire, you're gonna find some dirt. You're gonna find a lot of dirt.
Yeah.
If you search presidents, you're gonna find some dirt. You're gonna find a lot of dirt, except maybe Jimmy Carter. You know, you might not find nothing on Jimmy Carter because Jimmy Carter supposedly was pretty straightforward. But
Really?
yeah, he wasn't even liked that much when he was president by nobody.
Wow.
But yeah, if you search for any of these presidents, you're gonna find dirt anywhere. Like, for example, not a lot of people know that Dick Cheney, when he became vice president, he used to be the CEO of I think Halliburton, I believe, one of these big companies. And so when they bombed the Middle East, who do you think was rebuilding like the Middle East and stuff like that?
What, the president's company or
Halliburton.
Halliburton?
Maybe. Supposedly, yeah.
Wow.
I would look into that.
Got a
though, if I
big
were you.
contract, man.
Yeah, but you know, if you search deep enough, you don't even have to search deep enough. You just, if the media doesn't like you, put it that way, they'll find anything on you, anything at any time. I remember the media was throwing everything at Trump. They tried to even say Stormy Daniels and Michael Avenatti, the lawyer, were like, oh yeah, we're coming after him because he breach of contract or whatever, some nonsense that they did, and that didn't stick either. So
Yeah.